Hi and welcome to this video looking at Object2VR 4. So let's get started by clicking on the new icon, and Object2VR 4 will open with the welcome screen. Now I'm on the Mac, so what you're seeing will be the same on Windows, and also Object2VR 4 is still in beta as of this video. So let's look into this then. You'll see that the welcome screen, it gives you access to getting started documentation and videos, and it also gives you access for trying the Lite Pro and Studio versions. Okay, you can also even buy a license from this window. Now I have a license in my account, so I'm going to select I have a license, and when I do that, it's asking me, do I want to connect to my website account, which I do, and then it's going to say which license do I want to use. Now I'm going to activate Object2VR with the Lite license. It's telling me it's successfully activated, and I can now close the welcome screen. Now looking at Object2VR, the new interface, you'll see we've got a viewer in the middle and we've got various panels around the outside or circling it. Now, with the panels, we can undock these and we can move them around and we can stretch them and we can do what we want, so we can customize the look and feel of Object2VR to best suit my workflow or your own workflows. You can also go to the menu bar at the top, go Window Arrangements. You can save your own custom arrangement, or you can click Standard to get back where we started. Okay, so that's a basic little view of the interface and the panels. Let's just take a quick look at the Project Properties panel. Now the Project Properties panel gives you the dimensions of the project. So we've got 12 columns. So here you can see 12 placeholders. So it's all ready to accept 12 images. We've got one row and one state. And as we look down, we've even got translations. Object2VR can now create multilingual outputs. We can also add some user data, and we can set some viewing parameters, so start image, etc. Okay, now what I want to do is go straight to building an output. So for us to do that, the first thing we need to do, obviously, is bring in some images. Now I can use this add image button, or what I'm going to do is just select this folder. It's got a load of images in there. I'm going to select them all and drag them into the light table. Now what's going to happen is Object2VR is going to recognize that I've got more images than 12, and so it's now going to give me some possible arrangements with those images. Now this particular project has got 24 columns and 4 rows, so I'm going to select that as an option, and then Object2VR wants me to click the update to confirm that selection. So I click update. You can now see that in the light table I've got my 4 rows and we've got the 24 columns. Okay, so I said we want to build straight away an output, so let's go to the output panel, click the green add output, click web, and we're just going to click the cog to create our first output. Now when we do that, Object2VR is going to ask me to save the project, so I'm going to save it to the images folder, and Object2VR will then start to create the output. Once the output has been created, it will automatically open my default browser and show me my object. So here it is, 24 images around, and when I cursor up and down, we've got the 4 rows. There we go. So there's our project. Okay, so what else can we do with this? Right, well, with Object2VR Lite, what we can do is add some point hotspots. Okay, so if I click the hotspots next to the viewer, this opens up the hotspot list. This gives me the option of adding a point or a polygon hotspot. I am going to click point. As soon as I do that, the properties panel will then change to the point hotspot properties. So here is the point hotspot in our list. And now what we need to do is configure this point hotspot. Now we've got different types. We've got URL and image and video, and etc. Like with everything you're seeing right now, this is just an overview. If you want to know more about everything, please check out our documentation. But for now, this is just a quick overview of Object2VR 4. So as I say, we can have these various different pop-ups. I'm going to select URL and keep it that way. And I'm going to give it a title. So let's just call it Wiki. And also what I want to do is just copy a URL that I want it to open. There we go. So this hotspot is going to be a URL hotspot, and it's going to open up a web page. Okay, so what I need to do now is tell Object2VR what images I want this hotspot to appear in. So I'm going to cursor down the rows and select this image. and I'm going to double click and add the hotspot on the end of the gun stalk. Now this is this hotspot. Okay, now what I need to do is tell Object2VR in what images I want this same hotspot to appear in. So if I click the cursor key button, I can double click and add the same hotspot. So here we go. So I can now choose which images will show this hotspot. The idea is once the object rotates, you obviously don't want to see the object through, or the hotspots through the object, but you might want to see them again as it comes up. Or in this case of the Dalek, if I'm using this row, obviously there is no gun stalk to add the hotspot to. So this allows you to pick and choose which image this hotspot should appear in. So this is a single hotspot, but it's appearing, but what image does it appear in is what I'm selecting here. Okay, so if I now change to the output panel, I can do that by using the tabs at the bottom. I'm now at the output, and what I want to show you now is the various skins that come packaged, or the default skins which will come with Object2VR 4. So if I click the skins down arrow, you can see all the different skins. So if I select the feather box skin as an example and just create an output, you'll see that here it is. This is what it looks like from default. We've got the left and right, and then we can go up and down the rows. There we go. And as I bring it round, you can see that we've got the hotspot there in those few images that I added it to. And then when we click that, it gives us the pop-up, so the Dalek wiki page. Okay, so what else can I do then with the skins? Well, what all of our skins are shipping with, or the skins that are shipping with Object2VR, the default skins, will also have a skin configuration, an active skin configuration button that when you select them, we can do things like change the accent color or add and show and hide different features. As an example, I can deselect, open the hotspot as a pop-up, and now when we create the output, you'll see that if I now go up and click the hotspot, it's no longer a pop-up, it's now a separate page. All right, so you can actually do quite a lot with the skins just using the skin configuration and not actually having to dive into the skin editor. Right, so this is Object2VR. We've now created an output. We can, the output is a folder that's local to the project. Let's have a look. Here it is. I can obviously give that output folder to a customer, or I can upload it to my own website, or do what I want. But Object2VR 4 will also be shipping with a 90-day free trial to our GNOME Cloud. Now, I'm not going to go into this in too much detail because we do have documentation and on our website about the GNOME Cloud hosting, but basically you would use this button. When you click this, it will ask you to log into your cloud account, and it will upload the project. Now, to save a bit of time, what I've got is a project already uploaded. So let's go to the project. There it is. If I double click this, it actually opens the project. So this one was a slightly different one, but the same idea. And what you can also do is right button click share, and then you can share the link or embed code or even a QR code. But as said, we've got lots of information on our website about the GNOME Cloud hosting. Right, so this is Object2VR Lite. What I want to do now is quickly switch to Object2VR Studio and show you the differences between Lite, Pro and Studio. Looking at Object2VR Studio, you'll see we've got the addition of these extra icons down the side of the viewer. Now these will be first seen in Object2VR Pro, so we've got Object2VR Lite, then in Pro you get these icons. Now these icons are for image processing, so this allows you to do some image manipulation directly within Object2VR. So as an example, if I turn on this particular tool, this is the crop tool. If I select this, you'll see that the properties for the crop tool appear here, and I can do things like change the cropping of the image, so crop it down. As soon as I update this in the viewer, you'll see that the objects themselves update in the light table, so I know I could make that a little bit wider to get all those images in. So that's the crop tool. Here we've got levels. We can adjust the levels, so blow out the background. We've got the sharpening filter. We can add some masks, and we've even got our de-wobble. So if the object itself wasn't centered on the turntable and it was wobbling from side to side, we can straighten it up there. But again, please check out the documentations to see how this all works. Right, so this is the image processing. So this comes in with Object2VR Pro. What comes in with Object2VR Studio is the capture button. So if we look at this button, it says capture. When we click this, you get this new interface, or rather this new panel shows, and we've got the capture panel. Now this capture panel shows obviously all its properties here when we click into it, but more importantly, if we have a look at the project properties and the project dimensions, you'll see here we've got 24 columns and 4 rows, and this is displayed using this turntable graphic. This shows we've got 24 dots around and 4 dots to represent our 4 rows. So if I wanted to capture a different pattern, I could select, say as an example, 2 rows and 24 columns. When I click update, you'll see that the graphic then shows us the capture pattern that we will be using. Right, so from the capture panel, we can also select which camera we want to connect to and which turntable we want to connect to. Now Object2VR will come preloaded with a few drivers to select to connect to quite a few tables already, but one of the extra tables here is the Mecha, and the reason why we're connecting to the Mecha from Nodal Ninja is because Object2VR 4 now supports Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. So there you go, there's a quick run through all the features or the new features of Object2VR 4, and as always, thanks for watching.